We gathered this morning in the margins of the 51st Pacific Island Forum Leaders Meeting. Among the values of Pacific regionalism is the value to seek peaceful, safe, and stable, inclusive communities and countries, ensuring the full security and well-being for the peoples of the Pacific. There's been a lot of focus on regional security recently, particularly in terms of the impact of the geopolitical rivalry that puts China on one side and the US, UK, Australia, Japan, India, and France on the other side, and the Pacific in the middle. This week, a lot of foreign journalists will be focusing on this. There will also be a lot of attention given to Pacific security, with Kiribatis' apparent withdrawal from the forum and what that may mean for the Boy, Tower, and other regional security declarations and mechanisms, considering that the Boy Declaration was invoked for the humanitarian response to COVID-19. COVID-19 and climate change remind us of the need for an expanded concept of security that is inclusive of human security, humanitarian assistance, prioritizing environmental security and regional cooperation, and in building resilience to disasters and climate change. Our region is currently working on a Pacific climate change, migration, and human security framework. That's as far as we're also thinking about climate change and human security. These are our peace and security issues, particularly as peace and security will be one of the thematic areas for the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific. We're hoping for a commitment or a recommitment in that strategy for member states of the forum to promote and protect the rights of all communities to engage in and influence issues that affect their security interests. And this affirms the need for stronger partnerships and collaboration between relevant stakeholders, including CSOs, faith-based organizations, cultural organizations, traditional structures, international partners, and governments to prevent the commission of or incitement to commit atrocity crimes in our region. For those of you who may remember your meeting 7 months ago, I just quoted part of the statement, the outcome statement from the inaugural Fiji workshop on atrocity prevention and the responsibility to protect. We've had our shares of atrocities in Fiji and other Pacific Island countries, mainly as a result of socio-economic and political crises. Here in Fiji, my own church was once part of the problem, 1987 to 1989, and again in 2000, as elements within the Methodist Church in Fiji allowed themselves to be manipulated to commit atrocities. This has happened in other parts of our Pacific as well. And we have learned from those dark periods in our histories to ensure that this never happens again, and embrace our roles as peacemakers and peace builders. So how do we as a region work to support the responsibility to protect? One way is to call for a reallocation of national military budgets to humanitarian and development needs, conflict prevention, and civilian peace-building initiatives, amongst others. As I mentioned earlier, COVID-19 and the ongoing climate crisis provide clear evidence for this. Very simply put, the reduction in military budgets will have a direct, immediate effect on the reduction of carbon emissions.